What's up, dudes and dudettes? This is Due Diligence here, and this is the second video of the day. As you can see, we have a green screen now, and I'm still in the process of figuring out what to put in the background. Number 2 suggested to put some random unicorns flying by. If you guys have any ideas, please let me know. Or what do you guys suggest I should put in the background? So for the main body paragraph of this video, we're gonna talk about corrections on. Remember that We're Back video we posted out yesterday? Yes. There's some misunderstandings on the Patreon thing, and we're gonna clear that up a little bit. And second of all, we're gonna talk about the progress of Probability Marathon Challenge and a $1,000 challenge update. So those are the two challenges that's gonna be here on January 1st, 2022. And we've been spending a lot of time preparing for that, and you guys will hear an update on that. And then the third one, which is the main paragraph, is a lot of you are here for, is the MMAT logic and why we're so right on this video. So sorry about this. On this video in here, MMAT enters the buy zone, which is 12 days ago. We talk about whenever MMAT dropped down under $3 to about the supports from around 2.83. That's a 2.83 is a good buy now. So whenever it drops down, you should just buy some $3 call options. Again, we're not financial advisors. We do not give financial advice, right? Everything we say on them is for just shits and giggles. And today it just happened, and then rebound to $3 as we said it would. Basically, it's free money. Like whenever that thing happens, you just do a small trade, and you can even exit by the end of the day. But the best exit is probably like tomorrow mid market. Yeah, so proven to be really good if you traded options. It yields you about 20%, like 10 to 25%, depending on how much the timing of you buying it. Did you buy it at 2.8, or did you buy it at 2.9, or did you start buying it, or did you start buying it weeks before when we talk about buying leap options? And leap options generally giving you a little bit more of the wiggle room, and extending towards Christmas rally is gonna be very profitable. Anyways, we're not here to brag about how good we are or how accurate we are. Hopefully we are, especially we're looking for consistency here. But anyways, so correction for Patreon update is in that video we talked about $5 Patreons. Well, in reality, what I'm thinking when I'm making that video is basically if you guys have a $10 Patreon paycheck to us, we actually only receive around $5 to $6. So for us, it's a $5 Patreon. So basically, the general price for the Patreon, the $10 tier, it's just gonna stay at $10, and it's gonna stay there forever at $10. So for those of you who already sub, who's being long-term supporters, there's not gonna be any changes, and we increased the slot for a $10 Patreon to 69 members, and it's gonna stay there. And what we plan to do is when we have 100 people, or when we have 100 people start subbing for our Patreon, we're gonna decrease all of you guys' original amount from $10 to somewhere around $8 to $7 or something. Because if we did it to $5, we literally don't get any money from Patreon anymore because of tax issues, because California and everything. The original idea of Patreon is literally is like a crowdfunding source, a crowdsourcing thing. We want some cash for to do challenges. So all of the revenues from Patreon will go to the challenges little cookie jar, and so then we can put out Probability Marathon Challenge and $1,000 challenges, because we're gonna be actively participating in those challenges with the money that basically you guys donate to us through Patreon. A $1,000 challenge is going to be $1,000 of Patreon money, and then we're going to use the $1,000 challenge to only trade options and utilize a lot of tools we've been developing. So segueing to the second point, the Probability Marathon Challenge is basically we build a probability machine basically, and it sort of can predict what the probability of this stock going up and down based on historical data and based on one algorithm that we utilizes a very interesting fear and greed matrix that I made, and I sort of need people to beta test that algorithm. So we're gonna put $1,000 of our own money, and you guys can do that too, to the Probability Marathon Challenge, and see how that goes, see how accurate the model is. The second challenge is the $1,000 challenge, which we are gonna do it by just doing options. Basically, what's gonna happen is on January 1st, we're gonna either open up the free account or whatever, set apart $1,000 and just do the challenge day to day with you guys, or week to week, or month by month, depending on what option structure we decided to buy. We either decided to buy, we want to do it like a bi-weekly thing. Basically, in specific, in those $1,000 challenge specific videos, we're going to talk about the strategy, what we did on the day, and then on Patreon we're going to post in real time what we buy at what price, blah 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 blah, that kind of thing. And then, all right, so go to today's main topic. We talk about the MMAT logic and the short news, right? So if you search up MMAT on the market, you will see that there are some news that aren't that favorable to MMAT. For example, Value Walks talk about the true value of MMAT, and people posting Twitter tweets about it might be a scam company, it's illusion, optical, blah blah, it's an optical illusion, blah 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 blah. I mean, those are already old news. We posted a lot of those videos beforehand. We have a public blowout and people are working against us, send us death threats and whatever. Tell us to go to hell on Twitter. No big deal, guys. It doesn't really matter. And all of these Value Walk people, they're a little bit late to the party. And one of the reasons we trade MMAT is because we do hope that it's a real company, and we do believe in metamaterial in general, not the company but the material itself. And since it's the only metamaterial company traded on the Nasdaq, it's a good idea to invest. Anyways, it's like remember NVIDIA, which is the only graphics card company back when I'm still in high school or something like that, or back in the early college or whatever. Good opportunity when the market decided to really go to manufacturing metamaterial for different components, right? Then the stock's gonna skyrocket anyways. And the reason why they're late to the party is first of all, metamaterial already did a bunch of fundraising by reverse merger, right? Like all of these shenanigans with like Nanotech purchase, right? For those of you who are new to this channel, Nanotech Security is the company that metamaterial used cash to acquire, which literally means in finance, when you reach cash to acquire, it just means, A, I have cash on hand that I think I can burn for an extended period of time, and B, in terms of the management perspective, they do think that the stock option they hold in hand is actually undervalued, which prompt probably insider buying or insider trading for they selling their existing share and use a less base amount of base prices. For example, right, in this case, GP, the CEO of the company, decided to sell some of his stocks and use the money that they got from selling the stock to pay for the taxes, and basically exercise their option to be able to buy MMAT at a lesser price, which is 27 cents. And if hypothetically speaking, if MMAT decided to acquire Nanotech Security using options or using stock itself, then the actual cost basis for management will be double the amount of money, double the amount of price range they're getting right now. So for those of you who don't really want to hear about all these finance jargons and all the reasonings behind all of that kind of stuff, basically what you need to know is the enterprise value of MMAT is somewhere around $3.8. So whenever it drops around $3.8, it's a really good idea to buy a long-term call option, especially when it has a huge drawdown like this and a sort of like a cumulative drawdown to a very solid resistance line about 2.83 or 2.89 range around here. We talked about this months ago. We talked about this 12 days ago. We talked about this even during the huge crash over here, heavily shorted, and we talked about real value and all this kind of stuff. If you guys want to dig up those videos, go back and watch those. But anyways, the basic point is whenever it reaches 2.8, buy some $3 call options and it will just go up, right? And then when the market condition is okay, it's most likely to rebound back to like 3.7, 3.8. Therefore, when you started buying $4 call options at $3 would be a very favorable trade. But the only problems you need to figure out is the timing of it. Do you want to buy a 3 months ahead call option, a month ahead call option, or a half year call option, right? And in here, we're just gonna reaffirm our hypothesis on where MMAT is gonna go. We do believe that if Christmas rally happens, perhaps small cap rally is gonna be a little bit prior to Christmas rally, Therefore, you will see a faster volatility ramping up upwards. And then the gatekeeper value is about 3.79. And if, over the next rally day, or if we're hopeful that we think it's going to have a continuous rally day, then you will probably see some big shenanigan happening like this candle chart or this one and have a sharp bouncing up. And then it's probably gonna like stable a little bit. If the general market condition is going well, then it's probably gonna exceed $3.8 and reaching for the 4.1 mark. But hopefully everything happens before January, because January is a little bit tricky with the January FOMC meeting. But the general market believe that the highest probable date of an interest rate hike announcement is around March. So before March, we were gonna see a lot of volatility in the market, especially in a small cap market. But again, if you are a firm believer of insider buying is a signal for buying, then the exercising price for George and for their, I think it's not CFO, it's CTO or something like that, it's $3. So basically, they exercise their option at $3. They pay taxes at the price of $3. If this is not a loss prevention or a loss harvesting move on the tax returns of all these people, then you will expect at least a $3.5 rally about 2 months after they buy it, within the range of 2 months they buy. And then they bought it last week, so count the days. All right, this is it for this video. See you guys on the upside, and smash the like button and subscribe. Tomorrow we are gonna make a MMT LP video and basically just shining into you guys' eyes that hey, we said it's gonna stabilize at this range when we posted the original videos, and when we posted the video the second day when it started trading, we set up a mark about a $1.1 mark, and a lot of you are saying we're dumb. You think it's gonna go to $3 or 2.5, and I sold off like 50% to 80% of all of my preferred shares on around like 3.2, 2.5, and 1.75. And a lot of you are saying I'm dumb. But in that video, in the next video on MMTLP, I'm gonna explain my logic, and then I will explain why there's a rally over here. Sorry, during the rally, it was finals week. I was really busy regarding my projects and everything, so I didn't post a video and didn't warn you guys that there's gonna be sharp drawdown, because preferred shares are not to be trusted. But anyways, that's for the next video. See you guys on the upside.